This is Court Storming with your host, Perry Sook.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Court Storming. I am smiling from ear to ear because is that the band Queen I hear coming out of Queens? Well, it should be. Play it on repeat. We are the champions. Back to back for the first time in 40 years. Absolutely unbelievable. And thanks to a little birdie called Marquette, it is an outright championship for the first time ever in back-to-back years. What more can you say? There were doubts about this team when this team was sitting at 9-5, when this team had lost to Providence, and you were going, what on earth? What on earth is this preseason top five doing? The highest ranking team in the preseason for St. John's in program history. Well, here they are doing things that they have never done in their history at back-to-back champions. Guys, 36 conference wins over 2 years. That's unbelievable. 36-4. I can't even just think. I mean, I can count on one hand and have a finger left over the amount of losses that the Johnnies have suffered in the Big East Conference. Truly unbelievable. And now they take that one seed outright. No tiebreakers needed. Who cares if Providence and Seton Hall and Creighton all battle each other? Outright champions again. I got my ring right here from last year over here. Dan the man, thank you for that. Appreciate that. And they're going for it again. Tournament starts. That will be Thursday at noon. And I honestly can't believe it. I'm over the moon. This team has been so much fun to watch gel and come together. And they've shown that they can deal with some adversity. And speaking of, that brings me to my first point. We go to the Georgetown game. Well, guys, this game, it was senior night, which you'll hear Rick Pitino say, not necessarily his favorite of all of the occasions, because sometimes you get so emotional that things just don't go the way you want them to. Well, it certainly started like that. My goodness. This team was down double digits the majority of the game. This team was down 12 points with just over 14 to go. And thank goodness for Dylan Darling. You saw those shots he just put up there. Those 2 threes, and then that beautiful spin move to put 8 on the board to at least keep the Johnnies in striking distance. But they came out, and Zuby Ejiofor willed this team to a win. More on him later. First, I want to give a shout-out to the other guys who you're seeing on my right over here. Jonhn. Well, Ian had his best game in the week before against Villanova. Very impressive, and you were hoping he would do it again? Well, guess what? If he doesn't, there's so much depth in this team. Jonhn Sandin comes out 15 second-half points during that 25-9 run. 6 boards, and went after it like crazy. An unbelievable effort to go after rebounds in a way that Jonhn did not do at the beginning of the year. Dylan Darling, as I said, 8 early and 12 total. A season-high 4 steals for him. And guys, everyone tells you, well, to get through March, you have to have good guard play. You have to be ready to fight with your guards and your floor generals. Well, guess what? St. John's got 4 guards. They got Sellers, they got Sandin, they got Jackson, and they got Mr. Big Bells himself, Dylan Darling. And I think the odds of having a night where none of the 4 of them can do anything are very low. I think the odds that you have 2 of them go off is fairly reasonable at this point. And so what a fantastic thing. This time, it was Dylan Darling early and Jonhn late, and then Zuby Ejiofor, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, I had a chance to catch up with Rick Pitino, who was not the happiest of guys after the game, as you may have heard. He treated this win like a loss, but he did say elated about the win. So here, give me your impressions of an elated Rick Pitino. Coach, obviously not the start you wanted for the night, but you come out with the win, which you said was elating. Just what does it say about your team to be able to grind and pull out the win?
Well, senior nights are difficult. I remember one year at Kentucky we lost to Vanderbilt because emotionally sometimes you're drained. What I was disappointed in was I tried to explain to them this team played Connecticut tough. They played Villanova tough. Their style of play is possession by possession. They'll take 20 seconds and off the clock, and you have to understand styles, how important every possession is. And not until about 8 minutes to go in the game did they understand that. So you got to play every single team differently in college basketball. This is not the NBA. college you have to play styles, and we did not play the right style of play defensively tonight. I was also very upset that we passed up open shots. We were counting on misses rather than saying, let me get hot now because I'm wide open, and that bothered me.
Jonhn did end up continuing to shoot and made some massive threes down the stretch. Zuby as well. Just what does it say about those guys to have the short memory?
Jonhn doesn't count misses. He's never met a shot he didn't like. So that was a good thing. We needed him tonight.
And then last one, Coach, next time you're on this floor, Big East tournament with the game of Seton Hall, obviously in between that, what's your message to the team to finish this?
Well, just take care of Seton Hall. Don't look ahead. Just take care of learning your lesson tonight. Hard-fought victory. They're going to happen like this, both in the Big East as well as the NCAA.
Now, guys, we will get to Seton Hall because they did, in fact, not look ahead and take care of Seton Hall. But I want to talk about Zuby Ejiofor. Coach said that he didn't play a great game, even though he filled up the stat sheet. And I might have to disagree because listen to this stat sheet. We have 23 points. We have 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. I mean, he was everywhere on the floor, and he willed this team to win in that 25-9 run. He was pivotal. He was absolutely unbelievable, unstoppable, and a force to be reckoned with. Today, the only unanimous player named to the first all-team Big East. And I think it is more deserving, and I can't wait for Wednesday because if I was a betting man, and you could bet on New York sports if you lived in New York, I would bet he runs away with Big East Player of the Year. Absolutely fantastic by him, and I just want to give Zuby flowers. I feel like finally now we're giving him a little love, but for a long time because there wasn't always crazy scoring nights. It was, well, Zuby's being Zuby, and then well let's see what Dylan Darling did. Well, let's see what Josan Santa did. Oh, Isaiah Sellers had a big night. Oh, check out B-Hop. B-Hop's playing pretty well. Well, guess what? Zuby has been good all year long. This was his final home game. I had a chance to talk to this young man whose name and number should be raised in the rafters at Carnesecca. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what Zuby had to say after his senior night. Zuby, senior night. Obviously, the emotions were high coming into it and a little bit of a flat start, but able to get the win, score 23 points. Just how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling blessed. More than anything, we were able to come out the win, like you said. And that was the most important thing. We did come out a little bit flat, but, championship-level teams, respond, and we're able to dig in deep and come out the win in the end. So that was really important.
Ed Cooley called you the difference maker down the stretch and said you had his vote for not only Defensive Player of the Year, but Big East Player of the Year. Just what is it like hearing that respect from not your coach, but opposing teams?
It's the ultimate compliment, just having him, opponent coach, just recognize you, not just, my teammates and my coaching staff, but, others around the country as well, just recognize the amount of work and effort that I put in. It means a lot.
Zuby, next time you're on this floor will be for the Big East tournament. If you guys take care of business on Friday, Big East regular season champs, at least co-champions. Just how do you send the message as a leader of this team to finish strong and bring home 1, if not 2 more championships?
It's really imperative. Is what we've been working for. Pretty much all season to be regular season champs and tournament champs and more and more. And we have an opportunity to play one final game, away. At Seton Hall, a great team. To come out with a victory and clinch that championship. That's what we're playing for.
Perfect. We'll be watching Zuby. Congratulations on a win on senior night. Congratulations indeed to Zuby Ejiofor. Just a phenomenal career for the Johnnies. I'm going to have a guest on a little later who I want to ask where in his all-time list Zuby ranks because it should be pretty high. This man has fueled the fire, as Rick Pitino said, of this comeback, of this resurgence of St. John's. Last year, they did something they've never done in history, which is win an outright Big East regular season title and the tournament title. And then this year, having won the outright Big East regular season title, something else they've never done. And that man is the fuel for the fire. Rick Pitino says no one has ever talked as much in a huddle about getting them to go, getting the engine to run than Zuby Ejiofor. And I had to spend a little extra time on my senior day coverage to shout out this man. I could sit and watch his highlights all day. I welcome you to. They're on my Instagram. But it is just fantastic. And you'd think coming off of that big game, they'd be powered up, they'd be fired up and ready to go. And guess what? So was Seton Hall. as we move on to the next game. They did, in fact, take care of Seton Hall, as we know. But, guys, this was a battle. This is a team battling for its life in the tournament, outside of a miracle run at Madison Square Garden next week. This was a team who is good defensively. You will hear Rick Pitino say that all year long, and he has said it all year long. This is a much better basketball team than their record, I think, shows. And if I had a vote, sure, what Willard's done at Villanova was impressive this year, but when you're picked to finish last in the Big East and you give games to St. John's and you give games to UConn and you come out and you're fourth, that impresses me more than anything. Shaheen Holloway, fantastic coach. I loved, getting to cover his run in the NIT championship a few years back, and I would vote for him if I had a vote. I don't have a vote, but if I did, it'd be coming for you, Shah. And he had them ready to play this game. Now, what was imperative is that St. John's came out hot. And they did. They got out to an early lead, and that was pivotal as we see down the stretch, especially as this team starts to miss some free throws, which is a little worrisome. I believe it was 9 total in the Seton Hall game. Probably tighten that up before the tournament, guys. But I have no doubt Rick Pitino can do that. But just a wire-to-wire tough game. They go up by 9 in the second half off of a massive, massive three, and I marked it down. I stole one from Dave Barov of Storm the Podcast, of moments that change games. Well, that was one I thought was going to change games. Johnnies go up 9. Well, what does Seton Hall do? They answer with a 7-0 run. And I got a little worried. I said, they're this close. Is this where this team falters at the finish line? But then Mr. Big Bells himself, Dylan Darling, comes out, makes some massive buckets. It is fantastic. And again, you have all of these guards that are interchangeable. But however, the man who won the Big Bells Award for this, none other than Ruben Prey. What about Ruben Prey, man? Coach has already said that he deserves to be a starter next year for this team. I think he'll stick to that because Ruben has done nothing but be extremely valuable. And without him, they don't win this game at Seton Hall. There were massive blocks. There were massive minutes. And when Zuby was in foul trouble, Ruben Prey stepped in, 16 minutes, 8 points, 3 for 5. Super efficient. Super efficient shooting night from him. And that's all you can ask for. And then what does Zuby do? Well, Zuby comes back in, forces his way to win, 21 points. Absolutely unbelievable. Some more fun stats from that one. Seton Hall held to 1 for 11 from three-point. That's 9.1% for you mathematicians out there. I'd say that's pretty good if you can keep that going. Mitchell, a career-high 7 assists and 7 boards, and man, was he was pivotal. He's not stuffing the points numbers, which you maybe thought you'd get if you watched him at Texas and Cincinnati, but my goodness, he is pivotal in having him in that starting lineup. By the way, Dylan Darling starting lineup, last 3 games, I'm all for it. Let Ian come off the bench. If Ian's hot, keep him in there. Let him have his big minutes like he did against Villanova. But my goodness, let's keep rolling with this. Let's keep rolling with this as long as we do. Oh, speaking of, I'm wearing all blue today in honor of the blue jerseys that they won the tournament in, or the title in. But I have to say, now that it's over, all good. Beautiful jerseys. Love it. Debuting a brand new jersey when you have a conference title on the line? The superstitious person in me is dying. I sit in the same chair. But regardless, they won. It's all to the wind. And to the guards, Darling, 9 points and 5 assists. Sannon, 2 massive threes, which pushed him over the 1,000-point threshold. And what did it do? Well, gave first ever consecutive wins at The Rock, which has been a house of horrors for the St. John's team, if you can believe it, and gave them what we now know, back-to-back outright titles. Rick Pitino had some lovely words to say about that one, so we're going to go ahead and take a listen to that now.
Real proud for St. John's, very proud for the players. It was a great win, and the Big East tournament's a lot of fun, but the regular season means the most because that's your body of work for the entire year. We have won back-to-back championships with 2 different teams, and that's not easy to do. There's been one common denominator, and that's the young man to my left. We've said this 100 times this year in huddles, no fear of failure, no fear, go. And he epitomized that tonight. He just got the ball, he just went, scored, played with great confidence, the confidence of a 2 guard. putting the ball on the floor, making those plays.
Confidence of a two-guard from your big man, leading the team in every statistical category. Guys, I can't wait for Wednesday. But you know what else I can't wait for? My very, very special guest, and we are going to have him join us right here on Court Storming when we return.
Welcome back to Court Storming with Perry Sook.
Welcome back, everybody. Guys, the celebration continues because the Johnnies, well, they're back-to-back. It's unbelievable. It has never happened before, outright back-to-back champions. Thank you, Marquette. I was a Marquette fan for one day and one day only, especially because I don't like Shaka Smart because he used to coach against my alma mater. But a man who always cheers for the Johnnies, a man who is maybe the only person besides the players who have been at more guests than me, is joining us now in the show. A very, very special guest who I'm just so happy to have here. I see him at every game. You probably see him at every game. So joining me now is John Broder. John, what a time to be alive. Thank you for joining me today.
It's the best time to be a St. John's fan right now.
Yeah, I just want to ask. Well, you know what? I want to give the people some background because I think it is the best time. I mean, there's things both seasons, last year and this year, that have never been done in program history. So that's hard to compare. But you have some things to compare, John. For the people who don't know, can you give a little bit of your background as being, I say mayor of MSG, of being Mr. St. John's?
Well, I got the St. John's itch as a little kid from my dad. I grew up watching, Chris Mullin and Walter Berry, Willie Glass, Boo Harvey, all these guys. So growing up watching them, and these guys were like my basketball idols. Like Willie Glass was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. So for me, and Chris Mullin was like a god. This last 2 years has been just unbelievable, especially, with what Pitino's done. We really should have been in the tournament 3 years in a row, but we're not complaining about two.
Yeah, I don't think you can complain about two because two as back-to-back, when you're competing against a UConn, who is a powerhouse. I mean, we know how many national titles they have. It is fantastic that this team has done what this team does and a chance to do more. So, John, I did want to ask you about the signs because every game I go to, you've got some epic sign. And guys, if you watch the preview for the Big East tournament, there is John Broder right there holding a sign in the middle of the trailer that tells you to go buy tickets. I'm not sure if you've seen that yet, John, but it is just fantastic.
Madison Square Johnnies. That's the sign. The Madison Square Johnnies is actually in the Post today too, which is really crazy because it was last year and my hair was much longer. But it's fun.
Where did they come from?
But the signs idea, basically, I've been doing them for St. John's for several years. It's a fun thing to do. You bring a sign, you take pictures with your friends and other fans with them, and it's a fun thing to do. And you're supporting the team, so you're showing something trying to hopefully be inspirational or showing respect to an ex-Johnny. I've brought a lot of signs for ex-Johnnies on their senior nights. And it's just a fun thing to do. It started out of a competition with some other friends. They were doing it for other things, and I was like, well, I can do better than you guys. So I just started making signs.
Well, I think the attention they get is warranted and also proves that you definitely won that one, John. But now I want to bring it to the current Beast of the East is back iteration of these Johnnies. I mean, how does it compare?
Just from the last year was not expected, and it was just a miracle, like fun ride where we won every game at home, which was just wild. We'd be losing at halftime, and then we'd come back and we'd win the games here. I mean, we're back again with Big East champions back-to-back years. Mind-blowing. Thank you, Marquette. We appreciate you. Good job. It's just been such a magical ride, and Rick Pitino is in Rick we trust. He's our guy. We all knew this was a tough schedule to start, and they did it for a reason, so that once March came around, this team was going to be ready for what lies ahead. And so from that standpoint, it sucked to lose to Providence at home, but at the same time, I mean, look where we are now. We're Big East champs, so if we had to lose to Providence at home to be Big East champs, okay.
Yeah, I think every person in Johnny Nation would take that trade. John, what is the furthest you've ever traveled for a game? I know you went to Kentucky. You were at Seton Hall. I had that great picture of you throwing up confetti. I believe you brought yourself.
Yeah, well, one of our friends brought confetti. George
well, I'm glad you got to celebrate.
My bag of confetti for sure. I even threw some on Zuby when he was done with his interview. I was in the most joyous place ever. I'm on board. Like, wherever we got to go this year, I'm going to find a way to get there.
I love it. I love it. And stay ready. You don't have to get ready. You got hotel rooms booked in two places. I love it. I love it. I think I'll give Pix that note.
Buffalo too, but I'll cross Buffalo when we got to get there.
Now, speaking of, you mentioned it. You sprinkled some confetti on Zuby after the celebrations and his interview were over. Where does he rank on your all-time player list?
Right now, he's my favorite because he does so much, and he's really been the face of bringing St. John's back. So I have actually every year I always wear a bunch of different jerseys, and because of Zuby in his senior year, I've worn his jersey every game this year because I just know how special it's been, which means I haven't worn my Chris Mullin jersey once, which is a shame. But Chris understands, I'm sure. You know, it's tough to rank him exactly. I think he's out of the top 4, but he's in the top 7 best Johnnies ever, because it's hard to compete against like Walter Berry and Chris Mullin and Malik Sealy, you know, and Mark Jackson. Like, I'm saying, he's just because he only played like really 2.5 years.
Right.
His first year he didn't play a ton. These other guys played a lot longer at St. John's, so you can't compare someone who only played a fraction of their time, but his importance to the program is on the same level as every one of those guys I just mentioned. And he'll be remembered like those guys were. So Zuby's 24 will be a special number, and his name, you just say Zuby. St. John's fans are going to smile, and they're going to just be grateful and happy to think about, you know, what a great player he's been.
Yeah, absolutely exceptional. And you know what? He has a chance to do something the next couple games that might even move him up in the rankings, depending on how the Red Storm go this season.
That's definitely true. I mean, he goes on a run and we get to the Final Four. You know, I mean, all of a sudden, you know, he could be making his way up a little bit higher on that list.
Yeah, Zuby spoke about his time here and what everything has meant to him after the Seton Hall game and kind of his growth throughout the program, as you just mentioned, after you know, winning what we now know is outright back-to-back championships. Let's go ahead and listen to that.
My first year, just kind of like a learning curve for me. Just getting to understand, you know, Coach Pitino and him understanding me, you know, especially that first year. Kind of a down year, you know, with expectations that we didn't meet. But then the following year, you know, just stick to it, sticking and trusting him and him trusting me and giving me a new role, you know, stepping up as a leader. New role for me, for my family, and yeah, just winning a title and a tournament title as well, you know, the past year. And then you come to this year, you know, where else could I possibly go?
Yeah, absolutely love to hear that. In the age of NIL, in the age where he's the only returning starter, he goes, where else can I possibly go?
Quick Zuby thing is that
Please.
I was at Bahamas for the tournament last year, and we had that heartbreaking loss against Baylor, and it was a gut punch. It was just brutal for anyone that was there. There was a lot of us. It was a tough day. And then the next game, we all went early. We got there for warm-ups, and during warm-ups, we all started a Zuby chant, and it was loud, and like the players were doing it with us, and it was such a like turning point, I think, for Zuby, from the standpoint of we saw him leave that night crying after the Baylor loss, literally tears in his eyes. And then the next day he saw like so much love and support from the fans. And I've asked him about it, and he said that really helped him, you know, going forward. So it was just a great fan moment. And if you were there in the Bahamas, you know how awesome it was.
I wish Pix did not have a Bahamas trip scheduled for me, unfortunately, during that one.
I got lucky in that one.
Yeah. Speaking of next, up next, it's the tournament. Are your expectations higher or lower going into this season?
Well, I mean, when the season started, I thought
going into this tournament.
Well, I mean, I thought all along we're going to win the tournament. Like, whether we were the 1 seed or the 2 seed, I still would feel like it's our tournament to win. So My expectations are what they are. I mean, I want to win. I expect to win. Saturday night, we're going to be partying outside the Garden.
Hey, I would love it. Here, obviously, it is the bracket. When you look at that, I mean, it kind of seems like it lines up relatively favorably. I mean, you got Providence sitting where they sit, which is a team I wouldn't necessarily want to have to play again.
No, I'm rooting for Butler on Wednesday for sure.
You want Butler to win that one, and yeah, exactly, because we can't have another hard foul on something like that.
Or God forbid, like they hard foul Zuby and he gets hurt. I mean, we'll be a riot. The place will go crazy.
Yeah,
so.
can't be having any of that. Now I got to ask, you look at this bracket. You already said you thought we were going to win all along. So that's, hopefully I'm with you 100%. What does success look like for you this season? You come in at number 5, highest preseason ranking in program history. God forbid Saturday night doesn't go your way. You end up a 5 seed or a 6 seed, or Saturday night does go your way, you're a 4 seed. Is it the second weekend? I mean, when you come in with this high expectations, and you, the eternal optimist, obviously a national championship would be wonderful. Where do you go? Hey, this team lived up to its hype and lived up to its potential.
I mean, you got to get through the first weekend for sure. So, I mean, I hope we get to the Final Four would be my dream, but I would say Elite Eight is kind of what hope it should be. We should at least make some damage the first 2 weeks of the tournament, and just help us so much going forward and for the program.
No, it would be phenomenal, especially when you have to rebuild. Now, you got Ruben Prey, who coach has already said was going to be a starter next season. You've got Johnson Sannon, who now, surprisingly, it sounds like he's coming back, which is phenomenal. I think that was a question on people's minds throughout the year. And Dylan Darling, obviously, Mr. Big Bells himself.
Let's go.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, we can look to the future, but the immediate future, it's Thursday. I know you'll be there. What's your sign going to say, John?
Going for another one of these.
You got to. You exactly. Here, I'll pull mine off. We need more bling. More bling for John and Perry.
Let's go.
Do you know what the sign is for Thursday?
Yeah. Do you want to tell you?
If you don't mind spoiling it.
I'll do it. In Rick We Trust. Just to start it off, we're bringing it back. I usually don't bring back a sign that I use, but I used it a couple weeks ago, and I think this is the first Thursday. That's what we're doing. Going back with Rick We Trust, because it's really how it is. It's in Rick We Trust. First game, got to get through it, and then the next 2 games we're working on some other stuff.
I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see you Thursday at the Garden. It is sure to be electric, even at noon. I'm sure plenty of people will be calling into work sick that day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know friends that are using sick days for sure.
John, well, thank you so much for joining me. Absolutely a pleasure, and let's get the garden. Let's have a little garden party on Thursday.
Let's get them fired up. Let's go, Johnnies.
Let's go, Johnnies. All right, guys. I want to leave you with this. There are so many things as we talk about moving forward and what this team can do and hopefully will do. But you gotta live in this moment. And to be back-to-back champions is a little bit crazy. So I will see you next time on Court Storming as I send you out with a celebration from the back-to-back Big East regular season champions.